from the top tonight. We have our very own Ambassador Diamond, Rachel, coming to share some of the juice. I told her, I said, look, I've been listening to you talk for years, but you always got something good to say. Like you always come with something that I have yet to hear. And so I'm excited tonight. I'm excited to be interviewing you. Like, can you believe this? Like we tag team like this. I never, you know. Oh, she got a baby over there, Zoe. Compliments to Miss Zoe. So I'm excited to be able to pick your brain tonight, friend, and allow the squad to know you, get to know you even deeper. Like you're very transparent. I feel like I told Cass, I said, I feel like I can do her tips from the top. But
I ain't that predictable now. Come on.
No, not like that. I'm just saying I've been here forever. But no. So go ahead. I feel like the Rachel I want you to share about tonight, and I feel like it would penetrate the hearts of the squad, is sharing more so who Rachel was from Distributor to Ruby, and like in that time period going Diamond. So Distributor, Executive, Ruby, you set for a little bit, then went Emerald and Diamond. So talk to me tell us about that, Rachel.
Well, hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. So Rachel, who was a distributor. So yeah, Rachel, who was a distributor, just saw the opportunity to make the easy cash. I didn't really understand the residual money, and I was actually kind of okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I heard the lady made that much money, I was like, okay, this is crazy. But I didn't understand the residual side of it. I really just understood the cash at first and the ability to put cash in my pocket quickly. I think that's why Breon was initially one of my first customers. He wasn't a business partner, but when I understood he could be a business partner and it would change my business more drastically, that's when I switched him over, because I started to understand about building the business. I was really just into the fast cash. So Rachel, when I first started, was kind of just in a place of figuring it out and breathing. I guess if that makes sense. Like I just wanted, when I started the business, I just needed a way to make money so that I didn't have to go out and make money in different ways, if that makes sense. Because I had to make the money regardless. So I was just trying to figure out how to make the money. I was Rachel. I was a hothead, like all that jazz. I was eager, I guess you can say. Like I was super thirsty. I would go to all family functions. I was nervous. I'm not gonna say I wasn't. I was nervous to even start my business, but nerves never stopped me from doing anything. I just go into it anyway. I would say I created more. I was always bold, but it works gave me a bigger boldness. And I think the bigger boldness came from knowing who I am. I didn't really know who I was exactly. I had a tongue ring. Okay, go throw it back to, I think the video that I'm putting up tomorrow, I have my tongue ring in there. So when y'all see my throwback videos on YouTube, I have my tongue ring, baby, and I was proud of it. And I didn't care what anybody thought about my tongue ring. Okay. That's so funny, but that's true. So that was the Ruby Rachel. Ruby Rachel was ungrateful. I felt like somebody owed me something. I did, but big time. I didn't walk in gratitude. I was grateful for stuff, but I didn't walk with the spirit of gratitude. That was Ruby Rachel, because I remember when I got my first Ruby check, and I was like, bro, I make more in cash than this check. Like, what y'all talking about? Like, I could make $400 or $500 in rap cash, and this little $250 ain't cutting it. I was ungrateful. And I remember somebody said that. Somebody was like, well, God will bless you with more since you're so ungrateful for that $250. I'm like, but I thank God for this $250. Okay, listen, it helped a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Put it towards a little something. God, don't do it, Jesus, don't do it. I was hopeful. I really was. I loved God, but I didn't know what love was. So I loved him the way that I knew to love him. Diamond Rachel was hungry. I guess you could say I was hungry. I wanted, everybody kept saying, get to diamond, get to diamond, get to diamond. And so I was hungry. I was the one who carried my chart everywhere. I wanted to fill those boxes with people. I wanted to help. I didn't trust other people. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't trust nobody to handle anything on my chart. Okay. Look, you on my chart. If you're on my chart, I'm coming to the launch party. I'm helping you close. Listen, who we getting on the three-way? Like, I was thirsty and eager. I was controlling. I wanted to control everything. So that was distributor to diamond, Rachel, I think.
That's so good, because a lot of people, especially the newcomers, they see you as Ambassador Diamond Rachel, and they feel like, or me, you know, I can speak personally, may feel like if they're not that put together, then they can't be put together, because that's perspective. They can't be successful. And so I feel like a lot of people needed to hear that, Rachel, because here in this business, as you grow, you can still make money. And that's the beauty of what we have here, is you can evolve and you can learn and you can grow, but you can earn along the way. And so, yes, thank you for sharing that. So, with that being said, obviously, when you go from rank to rank, there has to be some type of shift. So, do you remember each shift for each rank? Like, could you walk us through the different shifts that you had to go through when it comes
I don't
to?
know if I can do all that. It's been a long time. I've been here 8.5 years. I will tell you, Ruby from Diamond was the understanding that I had to help people. That was pivotal for me. And I haven't always understood that. I always wanted to help people, but I didn't understand, like, you legit have to help people in order to do well in this business. And so that was the shift for me. That's when I shifted from focusing on other people's whys as well as my own. And it's so crazy. My friend Amber, who she was my second distributor ever. And she needed the extra money to be able to take her son to therapy. And what's so crazy, to God be the glory. I'm not gonna wake my kids up, they sleep. Justin just got a kidney. He's 15 years old, and he's actually been having kidney issues since he was in her uterus. And he came out and had to have immediate surgery on his kidney. He was peeing out his side. He just got a kidney. God is so faithful, y'all. He's so faithful. But anyways, he's also autistic. And so he needed to have some therapy done as well. And just a friend conversation, she was like, I need to take Jesse to therapy, but I can't afford it. Like, I can't cut my hours back and I won't be able to pay my bills. And I was like, oh, I can help my friend make money. And not only does she make money, I make money, and we're going to do this together. And so my why shifted. It shifted from, I need this training, tuition, all that jazz, but it became so much bigger when I shifted that perspective of taking on other people's whys. So that was big for me. I would say diamond to double was, diamond to triple was not a good, our whys weren't good. It wasn't. It was really kind of proving people wrong. And it wasn't good hearted, should I say. It was not good hearted. It was us proving other people wrong. And I'm gonna tell y'all, that stuff will only get you so far. It really will. So that was diamond to double. Diamond to triple was proving people wrong. Triple diamond to presidential was Breon coming home full time. So my why was bringing my husband home full time. I was making a lot of money and I wanted to spend time with my spouse, because who marries your man to see him going out the door every single day? And he was a basketball coach, and he was trying to be a basketball coach. He really wasn't on staff because of his schedule. So he couldn't take on a team because of the schedule that he was working. So he was working all these jobs and it was too much. And so I was like, listen, if I go presidential, like, will you come home full time? And that was actually December 1st, 2015. So we just celebrated, what's that? 7 years? 7 years? Is that right? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 6 years. 6 years, y'all, we have been a full-time family, and that is crazy. 6 years ago, I retired my husband. It's crazy. So, oh God, it's good. That is so cool. I get to be my best friend every single day. I married him because I liked him, okay? We the ones who, during the snow day, would sit up and play 007. Any of y'all play James Bond? Listen, we used to play James Bond on the PS4 4, 3, 2, one of them. It was back in the day. So that was it, bringing him home full time. And then also, y'all, the checks that I saw at Triple Diamond, okay, I know I can't talk money because I am going to put this on my YouTube, but the checks that I saw at Triple Diamond, I was like, bruh, like, how? How? And I'm like, all I do is just love on people and help people win, help people get sexy. Like, that's all I do. Dude, if I can do this, why can't I show other people how to do this? Like, you can live like this. And that's why even now I just be like, are y'all okay? Like, get up. Like, do y'all understand how much money y'all can help by just helping people? And if they don't want to be helped, this is why I tell people, push them to the edge. Y'all push them off the cliff. If they fall on their face and they don't want to get up, then that's fine. Move on to the next person. Because if you don't push them over the cliff and find out if they will fly, if they're a bird that will fly or a bird that will just fall and bust their face and then not get up, like, if you don't ever find out, you'll never get to where you're supposed to be. And so Triple Diamond was like, after Triple Diamond was like, okay, if I can make this much money, I can teach people how to make this much money. Like, for real, no college education, like, no, you don't need any type of certification or anything like that. You just have to follow steps and not give up. Like, I want to teach people how to do this. Like, there's no reason why I make this kind of money and I can't show other people how to do it. Presidential Diamond was all about Jesus. Okay. It was literally like, God, this is your promotion. If you want me to be an ambassador diamond, this is all you. I will keep speaking it. I will keep walking towards it. This is all you. And that's the same thing for Black Diamond. It's really just to God be the glory.
Yes. Like, talk about shifts. Like, even you walking through, like, you can see the different Rachels at every point. I remember when you went presidential, like, y'all, I watched her presidential diamond interview by another top earner in the company. Y'all, I cried my eyes out because I could see the transformation. Like, my friend was different, like, watching, because I knew her. So I'm like watching her interview and the words that were coming out of her mouth and what she was saying. I just sat there and I just cried. I was like, my friend did it. And so that was another thing, like another shift for me. And I tell her thank you all the time, because had she not kept going, I would have never had a reason myself to get up and see what I could do here at this with this business too. So I do have a question in the comments that said, could you tell them the time frame from distributor to diamond?
Right. And that was with my upline quitting.
That's another question. So how did you not allow not having an upline to be a barrier or to be a battle or a hurdle?
I've never been quite a follower in my life anyway, so it really didn't matter. Her being around was cute, but I never was attached to any vision that she had because she never casted it. That's a word for somebody.
That's a word. That is a word. That's a whole word. Okay.
I never was attached to anything. She never shared a purpose of why she was doing the business. I never even knew why she started. I didn't know if they needed money or anything like that. I had nothing. And I'm that kind of person. I need to attach to a vision. Like, the vision for my church is very clear. Like, it's very clear what my church is going for, the people that we are trying to reach, like the goals that they have. It's the clarity for me. And so if I don't attach to anything, I struggle. And so I really was never attached to her. So who was I attached to? Myself and my why. And that's when I began to attach to the people who were beneath me and getting acclimated to their whys as well.
That's good. That's really good. So we know you've had a lot of life over 8.5 years, a lot of transitions, life transitions and stuff. And so how do you manage different transitions in life, but still be able to thrive in business?
Managing transitions while thriving. So again, this is a process and it's different for every stage of my life. If you would have asked me this 6 years ago, my response would be very different than it would be right now. As of now, His grace is sufficient, but I won't stop swimming. And that's the biggest thing, in understanding that I am a human. And as human as I am, as I swim forward, God will keep me. I know what to do. I know how to do it. I just have to do it as I gracefully walk forward. And so something as simple as this morning, Zoe, Lord, we in this league one and we figuring it out, Lord. And on top of my toddlers thinking that they sleep in my bed, even if you put them in their bed at night, like they somehow want to end up in my bed. And anyways, and then 5 o'clock in the morning, her nose is stopped up. I have to get up and clean her nose out, like all the things. And so I'm like knocked out. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to press forward. Or even those of y'all who've been around for a while, with each child, I had to do this. At each stage, I had to put my foot down and say, I'm going to fight. Period. Every time I had a baby, I had a pivotal moment where I was like, I'm fighting. And I had to say it, like, I am fighting. I would share it. I said, I don't care if Zayden wake up, I'm getting out the bed and him and daddy gonna figure it out. Like I am going to fight. And so you have to have this fighter attitude inside of you that regardless of what comes your way. I remember when my dad passed away. Yeah, my dad passed away in the middle of my presidential diamond run. And it's kind of similar to Robin. Today was her grandfather's visitation, and she just couldn't get over the gratitude of being able to hop on a plane and go be in Chicago with her family, opposed to having to find out if she could take off and then only being gone so long. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole space. For me, when my father passed away, I was able to book an airplane, booked 3 flights for me, my husband, and my son. I was able to book rentals. I was able to book whatever hotel we wanted to stay in. Money was not an issue because of the business that I built. And I was able to grieve. I didn't have to call off. Like if I didn't feel like being bothered by anybody today, guess what? I didn't have to do it. If I wanted to cry all night, I could do it. Like the freedom was priceless. And so for me, when it comes to the transitions, it's continuing to swim while being graceful to myself, like just understanding, but you have to fight. I know why I'm here. I know what I want. I done had another kid or whatever the transition is. Right now it's another child. Children ain't cheap. Like our whole, like the check from when it was just me, Trey, and Breon is cute, but that is not gonna work for a mom of 4. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to still live that lifestyle and give them everything that Trey had. That means I have to make more money. So that means there is no lackadaisical. I still have to do the things. And so hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, it's more so seeing this as a solution, as a solution and not a burden, and then just continuing to do the things that you know to do and not taking on. Sometimes we take on ownership of what we perceive as a failure, and let that define us, or just harping on what you did wrong instead of being grateful that you can control your time, your finances, and all of that good jazz. So yes, so this is a question, this is kind of my question, but you are very good at rallying, super good at rallying the team, the people, and really pushing people off the ledge, like you said. How do you do that? Like, or how is that skill learned or developed when it comes to rallying? Because as we evolve in leaders, we have to have that same skill and that same ability to be able to rally people and allow or push them to get whatever they came here for. So
Yeah, I think it's a genuine concern and then the belief. So a genuine concern and then the belief. So when you really believe, okay, I believe in you, period. Okay, that's just it. Until you give me something else to believe in, I'm going to believe in you. And then praise God for the Holy Spirit, okay, and my pastor, and my other uncles and aunties them that I be listening to, because it's a choice to believe in people. And it's a choice to be graceful to people and understand that if God's grace is sufficient for you, best believe it's sufficient for them too. And so, and then also just understanding that, like, is it really that deep? Like, what do you lose by believing in somebody else? And just because they made a mistake, if they're actively showing you efforts that they want to give more, then you need to gracefully accept it and push them forward. You know what I mean? And so, it's a choice. It's literally a choice. And if you have all these different parts, and where energy flow, like energy is a real thing. Like if you are not truly believing in other people, then or you feel some type of way, eventually that's gonna come out. Like that will come out. I was just telling Trey, we went downstairs. So we were watching a basketball game, and like straight up, like you know how people at basketball games, they be in the stands like pissed off, and you know if their team's not doing well, parents do it all the time. Lord, if y'all that parent, stop being ratchet, like stop doing it. So like they do it all the time. And it's like, dude, if you started speaking positive, you know what I'm saying, and it's just like when the bench get all excited when you winning. I mean, like, have that same energy when they losing. Like, y'all so fake. Like, don't do that. So you have to have the same attitude when your team is doing good or when they're doing bad. And it doesn't mean you won't have moments, because you will. You have moments when your team pisses you off. But at the end of the day, you have to decide that you're going to be hyped up, because you know that you have I believe this. I have the power to change the atmosphere. And if I have the power to change the atmosphere, I'm going to change it. And if I can at least give you what I've got, and that's the alone time, if I'm able to fill my cup and give you what I've got, and that's why when I come in the rooms, we do Monday meetups, I'll be like, oh no, I'm not sitting in this. So everybody's going to get it together, or Rachel going to politely leave and y'all could be on here and do this alone. I'm not here. I don't sit in those type of rooms. And so when you don't sit in those type of rooms, you put yourself in a position to where you can give and you can give and you can give and you can believe and you can continue to believe and believe. And I'm telling you that alone time, when God is telling you things and you are grasping the promises that he's given you, then you can walk in them. You can walk in them boldly, even when it doesn't look like what it's supposed to look like.
That is so good. That is so good. Making sure that you are filled up so that, and always filled up so that you can be in a place of giving, and be in a place of not giving and then receive with your hand out waiting on something back. That's the thing. So I have a question in the comments. Do you cast vision with your new DTs on day one?
I do not. Mm-mm. So with the new distributor, when they're first coming in, honestly, my number one thing is to get them to win. I understand without the wins, they're not hearing you. It's almost like if my people are hungry, you feed them first and then you give them my word. It's the same thing. And so a lot of times they ain't checking for nothing you're talking about until they experience a win. And so my number one thing is always to give them the win. They could care less about your vision. They want to see the money. But see, the thing for me personally, like after I started making that cash, and she'd have been like, Rachel, we about to go to conference. We about to do this. We about to do that. She didn't go to conference the first year. I went to conference. Like she wasn't on that. Like I got vision from other people in the company, not from her.
Yeah, that's good. My thing is too, how fast can I get them to win? Because it's already like they're coming in on a hope and a prayer that it'll be able to work. And so the more wins they get, the more their heart is encouraged and the more likely they are to stay around to even get to the point of a vision. So yeah, that's good. What would you say to someone who really needs extra income but keeps putting this business on the back burner or think it's not right for them right now?
What would I say to them? Say that question one more time.
It says, what would you say to someone who really needs extra income but keeps putting this business?
Keeps. Hold on. Okay, that's what I want to hear. Yeah, who asked this? You were my honest answer. Nothing. I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't. First of all, like stop, unless it's somebody that you just really, really care about and really, really want to join you. Your lack of success is what's not drawing them to be successful. And I get it. Sometimes they're like, well, it works for you, but it doesn't work for me. But are you showing them enough to start believing? And so when you have a lot of naysayers, and what I mean by that is people who don't believe that this business really works or that it can work for them, you have to show them. And so your success speaks loud. It speaks very loud. And so the real question here is, I mean, first of all, stop wasting your time and go find somebody that does want to work this business and wants it to work for them. And then if they decide to join you, they will. Now, that doesn't mean you can't go back and ask, but you're asking with a heart of, Hey, you ready now? I'm killing it. Hey, my team is growing. Hey, we just hit a new rank this month. Hey, oh my God, in my check, I just saw it and I just thought about you. It's that type of space, not, all right, you ready, you ready, ready. No, I'm not begging you to make a dime. Okay, I'm not, but I am inviting you to come with me.
That's so good. I mean, when you think about me and you, like, she had to keep walking. She had to keep walking in order for me to get up. And she would come back and say, like, you ready? But it wasn't like, you ready? Like, it was like, you see me out here killing it, bro. Like, you gonna come on or what? Like, you got it, but are you gonna come on? Are you gonna believe that you have it? So
And it's
yes.
a spirit of release. I'm gonna tell you, it's a major spirit of release. Brittany's somebody I know, and it's crazy because you know how you be seeing somebody go down the wrong path, and you just be like, "Bless their heart." Like you just really want them to come out of it, but they just can't. That's what happened. I love you, Brittany, and you know it. But Brittany was hanging with some people, and it was like, "Bro, really? Like you better than that. Like, come on." And I would love the fact that she would still come sit with us because my prayer was that as she sat with us, that something would change. Something would change. It's like, Brittany better than. And so when she comes, I'm nice. I don't, Brittany don't, she'll make me a dime, okay? I don't even know if she run the auto shipment. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad that she's coming, that she's getting her heart encouraged because I know that I'm gonna reap the harvest if I faint not. So I'm not sitting here worried about Brittany. Okay, you can't sit. So now we did have moments where we're like that. You can't sit with us, you ain't run no auto shipment. We had that season of our life. But I was just glad she was there and was encouraged. And, you know, I worked with who I was working with.
Yes. Okay. So when it comes to new distributors, how do you because you're very good at getting people to win, getting people to their wins and pushing them over the ledge. So how do you get them to duplicate and trust the process?
You know, I feel like I can be better at this nowadays. Especially with this online world, it's really it's more difficult to connect with people than I used to do before. I'd love to be in person with people, but I really think it's just the open door policy for me personally. So when it works for me, it's because I open the door, and I have to keep opening the door. So I have to say a lot of stuff over and over and over again. So it's, hey, you're not bothering me. Hey, like I want to hear from you. Hey, like it's me inviting them into my work. It's going and like in they post, even when they ghosted me, you know what I'm saying? Like giving them a compliment, letting them know that I am a genuine person that truly wants to help you. And so as I keep opening the door, the people who want to work with me will walk through it.
Yes, giving what you want. Because I know at one point our communication could have been better, and we're still working on it. But you always reach out to me and communicate with me in hopes or just in hopes that I will catch on and start to communicate more with you. And so yeah, it's just giving what you desire. Um, that's good. So what would you say, what would you recommend for someone that can't get a friend?
Well, number one, I would tell you to fix your speech because life and death is in the power of your tongue and it's real. So the fact that you believe you can't get a DT is why you can't get a DT. So you have to always speak life and be hopeful, right? So every single day, it's saying, "I am Black Diamond." Now I can't go Black Diamond. I'm struggling. Like no, I am Black Diamond. So I believe as I continue to profess. What that's not even a word. What is the word? Is it?
Profess, I thought that was a word.
Okay, it just sounded weird to me tonight. I don't know. Anyway, confess. Profess. What does profess mean? Okay, we're not gonna do this. Anyways, when you speak it out your mouth, okay, Lord. When you say it, when you say it out your mouth. When you speak it, you know, you'll start to walk towards it. You act different, you know, and that's something as a parent, as a wife, as a friend. It's something that I've learned to do, period, because I'm not going to speak what I don't want and then be mad when it happens when I'm the one who's spoken into the atmosphere. So that's number one. fix that. And start to speak that. I find distributors, okay? Because I spoke that we have distributors just flooding in, and we have the leads flooding in. So now it's we're working on the distributors to flood in. And so some of the things that actually almost everything I spoke it. I spoke presidential, I spoke ambassador. I continued to speak ambassador even when it took 3.5 years to go from presidential to ambassador. And I remember, I was telling my pastor, I was like, oh my God, like ambassador, what in the world? She was like, girl, God has sustained you at presidential for 3.5 years. Not you went back to diamond distributor, like he sustained you for 3.5 years as you went to ambassador diamond. And I was like, you sure right about it. Like, so, and then also that's important. Who are you around? You have to be around people who are going to speak life. And so I maintained that space of being around people who would speak life when I was around negativity and other people who wasn't doing what I wanted to do. Like, you can't be rocking with people who not signing no distributors, because they're going to make you believe that you can't sign no distributors. So you got to be around the people who are signing distributors. And, a lot of times people are intimidated by that. Like, I don't want to be around them because I'm not successful. Well, you will never be successful. That's like being fat and saying, I don't want to be around the skinny people because I'm fat. No, boo. I'm skinny in real life because I'm skinny in real life. Y'all just don't know it. Well, some of y'all do, but some of y'all don't know it. And so y'all like, oh, she cute. Like, oh, she know she thick with it. Like, no, I'm not. I'm skinny in real life. And so I'm going to keep professing that over my life until I'm skinny again. And so, and if you're not supporting my skinniness, then we can't be friends. Don't be out here like, you look nice. Okay, thanks. Sometimes my husband be fired because he'd be like, oh, you look nice. Okay, that's real nice. Thanks. But I got about 40 to go, bruh. But he likes the skinny Rachel. He told me that the other day. He was like, anyways, we're not going to do that. Move along.
Okay. So
somebody say I'm not around anyone. So if you ain't around anyone, that's worse. That's you actually bring back. You are around somebody. You around yourself. And so that's the one person that you've decided to be around. So unless you speaking some life into yourself, you need to be around people who are speaking life.
Yes, absolutely. So if you could change any part of your process, what would it be and why?
Robert said, "Nah, I'm fat at heart." Hey, what'd you say? What'd you say, Robert? Brittany? Sorry.
If you could change any part of your process, what would it be and why?
None of it. I've learned to say that. Everything happens for a reason. And I had to grow in wisdom. Every aspect, every journey, every hiccup, every head bump, every good part, all of it, it just was meant for, it was a part of my life. It was part of my process. It was a part of my journey. And so I wouldn't change a thing. Okay. I wouldn't change a thing.
That's so good. I remember when I went double and I was like, you know what? I wouldn't change it. He was like, really? I'm like, no, I needed all that. Mm-hmm. I needed it all. So yeah, that's good. Okay. So what about the comp plan has impacted you the most?
The number one thing that has impacted my business is the personally enrolled diamonds.
Yes, lit. I'm telling y'all.
That's how I got into the top 100, the top 150. It's personally enrolled diamonds.
Yes, you go, man. I'm telling y'all. She said, everybody say get to diamond. That's real. Get to diamond, and then help somebody else get to diamond. I'm telling you, your whole world, money. Okay, so as a new mom, again, how do you set the boundary between giving yourself grace, yet knowing things need to get done? I think you already.
So my schedule, it probably would be my schedule and what my priorities, right? Being graceful, but then also listening. At one point, I think when Zoe was like 2-3 weeks old, I didn't start working until 11. And I would actually get on Zoom with some people. So it's being graceful, but also being mindful that I do work a full-time business. I do. And I get to do it differently. And so I get to decide and dictate what it looks like.
That's good. And there's a fine line between giving yourself grace and just not doing enough, or like too much grace. So how do you stay out of that place?
This is how I pay my bills.
Period.
This is how we pay our bills, and there's no plan B. So I don't work. There's no, I mean, granted, it's residual money, but at the end of the day, if I can work my schedule, if I get to dictate my schedule, why wouldn't I? If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have the opportunity to increase sales or increase or help somebody or just give somebody my time, why would I not? When it'll help them, but it'll also help me to not be in any hardships over here in the midst of having new baby or a transition in our life. You know, why would it'd be different if it took away from me. But it doesn't. If I want to sleep in, I can. Now, I don't necessarily care for how it makes my day go, you know, but it's just the transition of life and just being okay with, you know, it won't always be like this. So.
Yes, Lord. This is how I pay my bills, point blank, period. Just knowing why are you here? Why are you here? Okay, so I am not a salesperson. I don't like to push nor be pushed. I do understand being motivated, but where do you draw the line when you are trying to sell? That's the question.
I think this is a perspective thing, because, okay, this is a heart check. Let me say that. This is a heart check. Because when I am talking to somebody, so for example, this girl's heavy. When I just messaged somebody, my arm is hurting. I just messaged somebody just a second ago who was asking me if I had Zelle, and I was like, no, you know, everything goes to our website. And she didn't write me back. And I was like, so I just messaged her and I said, hey, you know, can I call you are you okay with that it goes through my website and I'm gonna call you when I get off my call? And she was like, yeah, that's cool. Now, easily I could have taken her response as she don't want this. But my perspective is just people are busy. I need to follow up. I mean, anything could have happened. She may have perceived that my response meant that I would call her anyway. Like, I don't have time. It's crazy. I was telling one of my new distributors today, and I actually, there's actually a few of y'all have gotten this. I'm not, well, besides what I said in the group chat, I need to ask questions for clarity. I need to understand. I don't have time to try to figure out what you think, unless I'm assuming the sale, because I told you I was changing that. You know, I'm now for that, just for the Tell Me Trio. For the Tell Me Trio, I'm going to assume what you said. But for all the other things in life, I'm going to ask questions. And so I'm inquisitive. And the more inquisitive I am, the better I can respond to what it is that you have to say. So when I know ultimately my job is to help people. And that is my perspective. So my perspective is not a salesperson. I've never been in that place, y'all. And so if you're in a salesperson place, you're not viewing this business right. You're just not. And that's probably why you're struggling with it. When I look at a salesperson, I think about a bad car salesman. A bad one. The reason why I say bad is because the person who sold us our Kia, he was legit. I loved him. Like, he was so you could tell like he knew he was going to get commission, but he wasn't pushing anything on us. He just wanted to inform us, right? And so the more informative you are, the more helpful you are to other people, then the more likely you can see yourself as someone who truly has a ministry to help people, opposed to just selling to people. First of all, do y'all know, and I'm just talking about among the Black community, how unhealthy, you can look at your own family. Some of y'all can look at yourself in the mirror, how unhealthy our culture is. If you understand that and you truly understood the products that we have to offer, like, for real, if you just got here, maybe you don't get it. But if you've been here for years, you should understand that our products, and I'm not saying claim wise that they can cure anything, but they can put people on a better track towards a healthier lifestyle, like, period. Like, I have my grandmother, I don't even know how old she is, I think she's like 80, but my grandma, she uses these products, and it's crazy to hear my grandma talk about her weight loss plan, or how, you know, my grandma, she's in Weight Watchers, and she like is the lifetime member, whatever, like lifetime weight, whatever that means. Y'all, I don't know. She hit a weight, and like she Something about Weight Watchers. But she loves the fact that the coffee helps her stay in weight. She loves the fact that the sleepy tea helps her sleep well. Like, these products are good. And when you understand how amazing these products are, you're wanting to share them with other people. And so I assume that you're going to buy from me. Y'all, I've been doing this 8.5 years. It takes some people 7 years to buy from me. 7. It takes some people 8 years to join the business. Some people will join at year 12. I got to make it to year 12 because that's when they're going to join my business. And so when I understand that, I know that 7 billion people on this planet, I have 1 million people to follow up. I know there's power in follow up. I know that people like me have to make informed decisions. I didn't sign up at the party. I did not. I went to a party and I heard about a lady who was making that money, but I went home and I thought about it. I asked my boyfriend, who told me, don't put that on your body. It's going to kill you, that business, whatever he said. And like my friends, I was like, y'all gonna join me. It was like, nah. And then one on the backslide went and signed up as a customer. Like, it's cool, like while I was sitting there trying to think about whether I was gonna join the business or not. But at the end of the day, I had to make an informed decision, but it was because of the information that I had. So some people may need more information, and you're concerned, I don't want this. Yes, they do. They just don't understand what they're saying yes to. And that's okay. I had a prospect today who was like, I really don't get it. Like, the video doesn't really share about that. And it's like that on purpose. I want you to ask questions. I want to be the one that gives you that information. I don't want you to go on a website and just read up. I want to be able to feed you information that I know to answer your question specifically, because I know we have a lot of products, that's why we don't just send people to our pages to sign up as customers. I know a great regimen for you. I want to help you create a regimen. I've been using these products for 8.5 years. So I want to help you get the best pack. I know if I have a deal going on. I know if this works with the Pick 2 code or this doesn't. Like, I am your personal consultation. I'm going to take you through a personal consultation. Cash, you laughed a little too hard, okay? Like, I know. So it's not about selling, y'all. It's genuinely about helping other people change their life. And as somebody who had I have them still, they downstairs, who has a bachelor's in psychology and a master's in professional counseling, I have always loved to help other people. I just found a space where I could truly be rewarded financially, and it touches my heart to truly help people, like, financially. It really does. It really does, y'all. The stories that I've heard, Breon and I, because of our life here, we've had people buy houses, buy cars, like literally would have never went to go buy a house, but because of their connection to this team, because of It Works, they went and bought a house. They moved. You know what I'm saying? Like, they went full time and had time, and then figured out what they wanted to do with their life and their career and went to somewhere else. It is so rewarding what I get to do. So I don't sell nothing. The only thing I sell is Jesus. And if you ain't smelling that, that's okay. But at the end of the day, I'm not selling. I truly want to help people change their life.
Yes, that is so good. It's all about perspective and just realizing that what we have here, business or product, is really a gift, and it can completely change your life. When I think about me not being a part of the company or not having the products in my life, I'm like, man, I would be so upset. And so when you think about that, and when you're in that space, I want to tell you about the business. I want to tell you about the products, because I know how different your life can be and will be if you're connected. So yes, so good. So when you were working full time, how did you plan time to work It Works?
It wasn't no playing time. I worked It Works all day, all night, and I ain't playing. All day and all night, y'all. I'm not playing. In my car, in between meetings. I'm not playing, y'all. I would sit and message. I would be on my way into a school to see one of my kids, and I would take 10 minutes and just send out messages, and then come back and be like, all right, I'm gonna take phone call, I'm gonna sign a little customer. I would rap people at my job in the bathroom. That's why I rap Sam, man. I rapped a few people in the bathroom, okay? I would prospect my coworkers, okay? And y'all could never, if you want to run me a $10,000 bonus, okay. But until you gonna run me one, y'all ain't paying me enough to take care of me and my son. So I wish you would. I wish I wouldn't post on social media and you don't help me pay all my bills. Gone. Like, God gonna help me figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So I work this business all the time. I worked it all the time. Yeah, I really did. And that's probably why I got fired. That's fine. So whatever. Don't ask me.
Yes, and it's so crazy because we went to, I don't know if it was Rachel's first One Team One Mission, but it was mine. And it was when she had just went diamond. You had just went diamond, and Mike had said something like diamonds work as a hobby. Rachel was no.
It's a no for me. I work this full time, and they was like, yes, we work it part time, and I make 2,000. I'm like, I don't work this part time. I literally work this business all day long, and I'm not playing. You can ask Brian. We would be in the bed at night, and I would be like, the light on, like, go to sleep. Like, what are you doing? I would literally stay up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning messaging people like, watch this video, watch this video, watch this video, whatever I had to do. Okay, this box needs to be closed today. Y'all, I was hungry. I was hungry.
Yes, she did work like that. And so when I came back and decided to work, the team had evolved, but I hadn't evolved. I was still working.
You still working like that. I was like, girl, we're gonna do that. We grace over grind. Take a day off.
Yes. So how did you attract DTs in the beginning?
That is so funny, but that's real. How did I attract DTs in the beginning? Winning, posting my rap cash. People saw me. I would post about my bonuses. I would post about my paycheck. I was planning a wedding. I would say I just $1,500 over budget, and I gave them cash to pay for that from my unlimited weekly bonuses. So it was the winning. It was showing every single win. When my team won, if I went to a launch party, I would have my distributor hold up their cash at their party, and we would take a picture showing that I'm helping people make money. I showed everything.
Yep, and she talked to everybody too. Yeah. Everybody. Y'all should see her out in these streets blitzing. Like, I'm telling y'all, I love it. I love being around her. Okay, so what are your go-to Bible scriptures? So to keep your mind right, what are the go-to Bible scriptures for you?
My go-to, I really think I only have, well, I mean, I guess I could have more, but my number one scripture for keeping my mind in the right place is Philippians 4, 6, and 7. That is our home. That is our family scripture. And so that is my bread and butter. And that is just not worrying about anything and praying about everything, telling God exactly what we need, and then thanking him for all he's done. And so that is how we live life over here at the Wiggum House. We give our issues over to him, and we thank him for everything that we have, and we walk in a place of gratitude. And I'm gonna tell you, with being in this business for so long, God has never failed us. We've been through different things. We've been through, y'all, I'm surprised that nobody asked nothing about none of that. Listen, we've been through every up and down, well, maybe not every, but a lot of ups and downs when it comes to this business. But God has kept us. He's kept us. He's kept us, and that's all I gotta say. And I would even say more so when it comes to our even my husband and I, our relationship, because we are full-time. We're full-time in this business, and the way we've grown to not feel panic, and learning how to walk in trust, and knowing that God will he will perfect it, like he will. And I just have to continue to swim. My only job is to keep swimming and doing everything that I know to do, and he will perfect it along the way.
So good. He's a gap filler. Okay, so how do you get to the point, or how do you get to the point when you want to control it all? Joker, is that right? Joker? How do you get to the point when you want to control it all? Or how did you get? Re-ask that, Joker. Okay, I do got one, a good one. Have you ever missed a bonus and or dropped a rank? How did you bounce back from it?
Yeah, that's it. Y'all, that is a part of business, okay? It is literally a part of business. It really is. Missed the bonus? Yeah, a whole bunch of them. You gotta think every week you go by and you don't get a bonus, you missing a bonus because it's unlimited weekly bonuses. So you could literally get a bonus every single week, right? but yes, I've missed a lot of bonuses. I think ultimately it's the push forward and understanding that I can be one step closer if I keep swimming. And I mean, what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you here? And I know I've talked about this before, but why are you here? Are you here to get unlimited bonuses, or are you here to pay for daycare? Like, why are you here? And so you can't get caught up in the okie doke of the business, the ranks. And I know I've said this recently, the ranks and all of that. You have to get caught up in why you're here. Like, you're here to pay for something. Pay for something. Like, instead of worrying about, I didn't go Ruby, but did you make enough money to pay for that's ultimately why you're here. So go towards what it is that you want. And I think that was the biggest thing for me. It's pride. That's pride. When you're worried about dropping ranks and things like that, if you're dropping ranks, it's because you're not helping enough people. Right. And you could be in a place of transition to where, you know, you're figuring it out, or you're learning new things, or you're reorganizing your team, or you know, that's normal. It is. People come and people go, but you have to continue to progress forward, because as you bring in new blood and you help your new blood win, then you'll get back to where it is that you need to be. And if you are dropping ranks, it's because you have people leaving quicker than they're coming in. And it's probably because you're not asking. You fell back on the asking. I know it was one point in my business where I used to ask everybody, but once other people on my team started asking people, I didn't ask as many people because I was helping them with the people that they were signing, right? But I personally have to stay in a space to where I'm asking as many people as I need to ask to build my business. And this is when I lost Diamond. This is when I first realized this, and I lost my $10,000 bonus initially. I was like, oh, they don't care. Oh, it's not their money. Oh, okay. So let me focus on my business and building my business, and as I help them build theirs. But my business will never not grow because they don't want to build their own business. And that's putting your business in other people's hands, opposed to focusing on your own business that you get to do with other people.
Yes, that's so good. I remember it was a shift that happened for me, and I was like, no, baby. You don't sign distributors for them to build your business. No, you sign distributors to give them an opportunity to build a business for themselves.
Absolutely.
Now, where they fall, but it's not, you're not, this ain't that. Like, and so I had to get right. Like, that was my shift from diamond to double. Like, no, you don't sign distributors to build your business. You're giving people an opportunity. So yeah, man. Okay, so Jokel is wanting to know when you got, okay, so when you're not seeing what you want to see, how do you stay in a place of relinquished control and keeping your business in God's hands and not trying to take it back? So, you know, you release your business to God, and you know it's in his hands, he's controlling it. But when you're not seeing what you quote unquote want to see, how do you not take it back and try to gain back control in your own hands?
Most of the times when I'm not seeing what I want to see, it's a direct reflection of my work. You get what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, if I'm not succeeding the way that I want to succeed, it's because I'm not giving it my all. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think ultimately that's it. And a lot of times when we're not, because success really comes, I mean, you could fabricate success, don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of times people come into this business and they don't go balls to the wall because they're afraid of what people will believe about them. It kind of goes back to that salesperson question where it's like, well, I don't want people to think that I'm doing the most. I didn't care. You get what I'm saying? And so you have to get to a point where, and even when it came to getting my Christmas cash bonus, I had to get back to the place where we just didn't care. Like, it was just like, you know, whatever, like you getting this, you getting that, you getting this. And if not, I'm gonna ask at least, you know what I'm saying? It was the hunger, and people were attracted to the hunger. So I can't necessarily say that a lot of times, and I'm just gonna say this from just looking at my organization altogether, the hunger is not always there when it comes to action. And a lot of people are hungry verbally, but action wise, you're not hungry. You'll get up 10 host to post for 2 days, and then the next 4 days you take a day off, you don't get up 10 host to post. And so are you really giving this business your all? Like, are you truly giving this business your all, instead of doing a little bit like, God bless my little bit and just help me go to the next level, when you're really not working your business the way that you should work your business. So for me personally, that's my first thing. If my business is not going the way that I desire to go, it's because I haven't asked somebody to join this business where it actually made me want to do my pants. Like, I actually was like nervous reaching out to them, like, okay, I don't want to ask them. Like, I'm not in uncomfortable places. Y'all, I used to stay in an uncomfortable place. That's why this not going out stuff is, I would make myself uncomfortable every time I left the house. Like, every single time. Y'all, me and my husband will go to lunch at Applebee's, and he'll be like, man, blitz her. And that's if I didn't do it automatically. He'd be like, so you're not gonna blitz the waitress? And I'd be like, okay. You want a coupon? Like, every time we would go out of town, the receptionist, like, I would blitz them. I would always remain uncomfortable. And so people are just too comfortable. You're too comfortable. And you think you want to get to a place where uncomfortable people live, but you're not willing to be uncomfortable.
That's so good. I remember we went through a season of being okay with being uncomfortable. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable. And if you are comfortable, you should be scared. Like, you should be like, listen, no, I gotta do something. Yes, that should be an indicator. And I mean, that's the same for me. Anytime I'm in my feelings, honestly, about my business, is because I know I ain't did what I'm supposed to do, or everything that I was supposed to do. That's the only time I'm in a place of not trusting, because I'm like, why ain't give him nothing to put his super on? Like, because I haven't did anything. And so, yes, it's the action. It's always the action that speaks louder than the words. You can say things all day long, but we are going to pay attention to what you're actually doing. Okay, so you can easily compare yourself to other top leaders, being a top 35 leader in the company. How do you not fall into the traps of comparison?
That don't even sound right. So like that don't even sound realistic to me. That's the crazy part. When I hear, oh, top 35, that's cute. Like, that ain't nothing but Jesus, okay? Listen, nothing but Jesus. In comparison, I don't want to say that I don't deal with comparison, because everybody does. I think it's more so, to answer your question, get them off your timeline. Stop watching. Everybody that you feel some type of way when you see them, they need to go. They really do. You don't just keep staring, trying to, God, fix what's in my heart. No, stop watching them. Like, you have no reason. Like, when I would watch, at a certain point, I had to take Stephanie Dunn off and I was kind of missing her and knowing what's going on in her life. But I had to stop following her, because I was so consumed with her life and what may Stephanie be doing day in and day out to be number one. I wasn't learning from her. I was not. And I was really just watching and didn't really know what in the world she was doing, because I wasn't talking to her. And of course, they're not showing on social media. And so it was really a waste of my time. And so honestly, it's running your own race. Y'all, when I ran to Presidential Diamond, I didn't know who none of them were. Y'all, none of them. I followed none of them. I didn't even follow Jade Hooper. I just followed her YouTube page. I didn't follow her actual page. I didn't follow her Instagram. I didn't follow none of that. I didn't care about their lives. All I cared about was what business tips you got to give me. And then we just used their business tips and we ran with it. It's too much watching people's lives nowadays. Like, you worried about what car they drive, what vacation they went on. And before you know it, you so concerned about their life that you can't even live yours no more. You start to be unsatisfied with the lives that you're living, or, oh, I wish I had a house. I wish I had a new car. I wish I was able to do this. I wish I was able to do that. And now you're not even enjoying the fact that, baby, you ain't nowhere near a new car. How about you clean your car out first? Like, your car is trifling. How about you make your way to actually wash your car? How about you go get the trash out your car? You know what I'm saying? Like, put gas in your car. When's the last time you had an oil change? You talking about a new car? You know what I'm saying? So it made me, I needed to stay in my own. So I stopped watching. Stop watching.
Yep, that's so good. Like that's the best way to combat comparison and stay in your own lane. Stay in your own lane and know that God created you for your purpose, and can't nobody be you better than you can be you. And being you is what's going to allow your gifts to shine through and you to actually do what it is that he placed you here to do. So yes, that is so good. I know we got a couple more questions in the comments, but we are at the 9 o'clock hour. So
I know somebody asked the question like 5 minutes ago. So it says, how do you balance the structured hold on, I need to devote my time more into what I'm doing. How do you balance the structured check with the time it takes to make gradual success? Do you have any suggestions balancing as I start out? I don't feel burned out too soon. Yo, when it comes to people who are super duper busy, y'all, like for real, if you're super busy, I truly believe that you focus on what's a priority. All right, like for real. That's real life. When I first started this business, y'all, I was in grad school part-time. I was a full-time mom. I was working a full-time job as a case manager, meaning I had notes to do when I came home. I was doing hair on the side. And I mean, I would literally have 2 or 3 heads a weekend, like for real. My son was in sports. Because that was my side hustle initially, right? It got to a certain point, y'all, that I didn't take heads no more, unless it was conducive to the space and time I had within my business. So if it didn't work into my business schedule, I wasn't taking the heads because my business became a priority. And so the real question here is, will you cut back a job? Like maybe you need to leave a job. And I'm not saying, because I don't know your situation, but you may need to cut back on something. I dropped out of grad school. I was in there for my second master's. I really was just using the money to get for private school. So I was just getting the refund. I mean, I was going to class because I'm not somebody who just flunks a class. So I was going to class, but it was really just so that I could get the money to pay for my son's private school. So I dropped out of grad school. That left that money, y'all, that cushion, that was a cushion for me. That was how I paid for my son's tuition. So now I need to make that money. I wasn't taking as many heads. So I need to make up for that money. And so I had my one main job, and then I would work the mess out of this business and pick up heads on the back end, y'all. But on the front end, I made my time available for my parties. You know what I mean? Like I made myself available for those space and time. And so the real question is, what do you need to let go of so this business can actually work and you have time to actually focus on it? And I, you know what? And I'm gonna tell you, boss to the wall. You know, a lot of times people are like, well, you know, I'm walking away from my job or whatever. And I'm sorry, yeah, we have overtime, but I'm walking away from my job or whatever. And it's like, if you're ready, or if you decide to walk away from a job, you literally should give so much energy to this business that by the time your head hits the sheet, you pass out. I mean, phone calls. I mean, honestly, if I was to the point where I knew I needed to cover my rent or tuition or whatever in order to be able to be full-time in this business, I would literally be calling every potential. You don't want it bad enough because you're not figuring it out. That's where I would be. I would be calling every person. Yeah, I would call every single I remember when I first wasn't working my job, I would call every single person on my chart, and then I would call everybody on their chart, and then I would call everybody in E-Suite. I would start calling people's customers. Like I would do whatever it is that I had to do in order to get better. I would listen to books. I would, are you doing everything that you could possibly be doing, or are you divided in your attention? And so that's the part. I mean, if you're divided in your attention, it may be to the point where you need to really focus on what it is that you want. You want to have the cushion of a job, but still have this business work for you, but you don't give it enough. So you might need to let go of that. I don't know. To each his own. But I know for me personally, I wasn't going back to nobody's job. I wasn't. And so I had to figure it out. And there were months that I did take extra heads in order to cover it while I was building, but I still didn't let it take away from my time that I had with It Works. I was never not present for my team. Like I didn't go ghost or anything like that. Like it had to be convenient to my business because I knew my business would sustain me. And to this day, no braiding has ever paid me what this business has paid me. And so I'm glad I made that decision.
So good. So good. Solution focus. When this is your plan and your plan only, you don't have time to focus on what's not working. You have to figure it out and figure out how to make it work for you. So that's so good. Do you have any last things that you want or that you have in your heart and mind that you want to share with the squad?
You know, I'm just gonna say that I feel like we have something so special here, and honestly, like, it's crazy because even when I talk to people who aren't here anymore, like the community is so special. And even when I talk to potentials, what we do is easy. It really is, y'all. It's the mental space of it's the mental. It's mentally every day moving forward. It's mentally saying, okay, I'm going to be brave today and ask her to join me. Okay, I'm not, because somebody even today asked me, and I don't know if she's on here or not, but she was like, I'm dealing with imposter syndrome, so I'm not able to move forward. And I was like, are you serious? Like, that's like me saying that I never was skinny. Bruh, I've been skinny. I got the pictures to prove it. And you will not tell me that I ain't been skinny in my life. I got abs and everything. Okay. Like bing, bang, bow. Okay. Like you're not going to make me believe that I'm not skinny inside. Like I'm skinny inside. And so that's what happens when life starts to hit people or you're not seeing what you want to see. It's like, oh, I can't do that. You already did it. Most of y'all already did it. And if you haven't done it, so that's for the old person. You already did it. And so pick your face up and do it again. Like you can do it again. It's just being willing to move forward towards it and being okay with the journey looking different. Like every pregnancy for me is different. That means what? Every snapback will be different, but that doesn't mean that I can't reach my expected end. And so I will reach my expected end. I don't know. Every promotion is different for me. So I can't compare one to the other, but I can keep moving forward and doing the things that I'm supposed to do, knowing that Black Diamond is coming, right? Eventually, Eastwood will get there. I understand that. I know how to build my income. I know. And so when the momentum starts to hit, I'll know exactly what to do with it because momentum is coming. Momentum is coming. Momentum is coming. And there are seasons that you have to build harder than others. There are seasons where the grass is not, where the dirt is not as fertile, where the dirt is not as moist, and that's okay. There might be a little more work to do towards the soil, but that doesn't mean that the soil won't still produce good fruit. It doesn't mean that. And so you have to move forward. For somebody who's never done this before or never actually gotten forward or actually got going, it's because you give up too fast. You quit too soon. You get in your head. You isolate. Like it's a teeter-totter. And so your business don't know if you want it to work or not. It's confused. Your business doesn't know. Your timeline doesn't know. Because one day you posting about business and products, and then the next day you ain't posting nothing. The next week you posting, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to keep the focus of where it is that you want to go. That's what I said at the beginning of the year. And so that's so crazy that we're ending this at the end of the year, December 28th. I told you at the beginning of the month, the beginning of the year, we walk by faith and not by sight. And so how many of y'all stopped walking by faith because it didn't look like what you thought it was supposed to look like? And so now you can pick your face up and say, you know what? There were many times where I stopped walking by faith. I started to see it. My check wasn't what I wanted to be. My check was $50. And you better be grateful for that little $50 and keep it moving towards your 100. Keep it moving towards your 500. Keep it moving towards your $1,000 because God will never give you 1,000 if you can't be grateful for the 50. And then can we just be honest about what it is that you did to get the 50? You talked to 5 potential customers and 1 signed up, and then you said, well, I shouldn't run an auto shipment or whatever. Like be mindful, y'all. Even when I wasn't making money, I fell in love with the products. Then I sold the products, right? I sold the products. Y'all, I love Rap Cash. I love moving forward. So you have to fall in love with the process. Y'all be out here watching reels about people going through process, but won't go through a process yourself. And so the real question is, can you do it? Can you go through the process? When you go through a process, y'all, even when you think of healing, when you go through a process, it's ugly. Sometimes it's ugly. I look at my stomach. So funny, my husband took a picture of me on the couch at my postpartum visit, and I was like, that is nasty. What stomach is that? Like, that is not how my stomach is supposed to look. But I say, God, thank you for this stomach and that I didn't get no new stretch marks. Okay, it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. I know it's gonna go down. And so it's went down every other time. So I'm just gonna wrap this thing up. I told my husband, I said, my stomach like flaps over. I said, that is nasty. Like, how do people live with their stomach? No offense. Like, how people live with their stomachs like coming over? That is nasty. I just can't wait till my stomach is flesh again. You know, like, no little dip over on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me, but that's me speaking to myself and hyping myself up, knowing that even though it don't look like what it looked like, it looked like what it looked like. And that's why I share pictures. Y'all be in my story every day. I'd be like, oh yes, Rachel, the skinny Rachel. One girl was like, take your time. I ain't taking no time. Okay. I'm gonna take my time taking these products. And that's it. Oh, I'm sorry. You done? She's done. We're done. She said, be quiet. So what I'm saying is walk by faith and not by sight, period.
And that's how Mary had a little lamb.
And that's all Mary had a little lamb. Everybody should get off of here and go do a reel about how you're gonna really walk it out in 2022. Because a lot of people didn't. And that's real. A lot of people did not. Yeah, it was like, at times you walked it out. But then when things got hard, you stopped walking it out. And so it's okay. It's okay. Every day can be day one. No one's here to judge you. I'm not here to judge myself. You know what I'm saying? Every day can be day one. It's deciding that tomorrow will be day one. That's the decision. You make the decision that it's okay. And nobody's checking for you. And don't allow anybody to think somebody's checking for me. Oh, they look at me differently. No. I don't have time for that. Four husbands. Yep, I got 4 of them. I got 4 kids, a husband and a dog. And so nobody has time for that. Like I'm telling you, I don't. Maybe some people do, but I don't.
This was so good.
Look, I got somebody in the comments feel some type of way about is that what I'm not even finna say that word, but that's the hanging crew. Listen, if I can get rid of my hangage, y'all can too. Okay, we can get rid of it together.
Yes, yeah. Show her some love in the comments and let her know how much she blessed y'all socks off tonight with these good words. I just love you so much, Rachel. I adore you. Like, I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. And yeah, just happy to be here with you tonight. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and pray us out.
All right. All right, dear Heavenly Father, God, we just love you. We honor you. We thank you. We thank you for this team. We thank you for this squad. We thank you for this opportunity. God, we thank you for these past 8.5 years and how you have blessed this team, how you have helped us grow leaps and bounds like never before. God, we thank you that you're doing a new thing. We thank you as we go into the new thing, that people's lives will be changed and impacted like never before. God, those who have been holding on, God, I just pray that you keep them renewed in their minds and in their hearts, and you help them see the return. You help them see the reward that they've been holding on to. God, we thank you in advance for the end of this year, the end of this month, the bonuses that will be received as we go into 2022. And we believe that you have something so special waiting for us on the other side. And so we thank you in advance. We thank you in advance. We thank you for everything that we've learned. We thank you for the encouragement in our hearts and minds. And God, I thank you for the ability to serve this team. We thank you that we have a team that is so committed to their own wives, that is so committed to you, that is so committed to this squad and this Black Diamond vision, that they have decided to continue to show up even on their worst day. And so God, I even ask for a double portion for them as we go forward. God, those who show up, those who have COVID, those who have who are expecting babies any day, God, even in the midst of Robin bearing her father today, God, I ask that you touch their bodies in the name of Jesus, God. Allow their symptoms to be less and less, God. Help them to feel better, God. We ask that you cover Keisha as she goes through her birthing time. God, we ask that you continue to cover Robin as she buries her grandfather. And we're just even asking that you touch Marilyn even in the loss of her mother. God, we just thank you. We thank you and we honor you. We're glad that we get to do this here together. And we just bless your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, y'all.
Thanks, Brittany.
My